Well, they say no matter what you do, no matter who you are always making the same movie over and over and over. And I learned that you go back to David Lynch's student films through Mulholland Drive and Tarantino's movies, we can't help it. You can't help who you are. And every time I sit down to write a movie, I go, oh, this one will be totally different. And I realize I'm writing a bunch of sort of privileged, sheltered, upper middle class American kids that are very protected in their world, that look for something exciting outside of it and get in way over their heads and offend the local culture. These are just themes that interest me. I love traveling. I guess this comes from when I was 16 years old and I went to Israel and Egypt. And then when I was 17, I was an exchange student and I lived in France. When I was 19, I lived in Iceland for a summer. Or when I was 17, I went to Russia. I was in exchange for 3 weeks. When I was 18, I went to France. And every time I came back to my boring world of Newton, Massachusetts, I saw these spoiled, wealthy, privileged kids who were complaining about everything, thought they were better than everyone, thought they knew it all, and they hadn't left their towns. Or maybe to go to Florida or New York. And so I'm very interested I consider myself a citizen of the world. I'd love to shoot a movie in Italy. I love immersing myself in another culture. I loved living in Prague and learning Czech for the Hostel movies. I've loved living in China for The Man with the Iron Fist. I loved living in Chile for Aftershock. I loved living in Peru for the Green Inferno. That's who I am. That's my curiosity as a person. And I think it fills me with ideas and people, and I see things, and it's what I love. I think it's who I am. But I'm always worried about that moment you do say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and suddenly you're in a room, you don't speak the language, and you know they're talking about you, and someone offers you a ride, and you're got in the wrong car. It also stimulates all these other ideas. But I'm very, very interested in clash of culture, and even in Hostel 2, the girls that leave, I think when Americans travel, they leave with this bubble around them, that the rules of America still apply, that no one's going to touch you, that men won't sexually harass you, that you're safe because you're an American and you're protected. And it's crazy. And we know that's crazy, but I'm fascinated by that. So I love the idea of American kids that are very smart and that aren't bad kids and aren't obnoxious, that want to help and want to do the right thing, but don't realize how unwelcome they are and how abhorrent their behavior is, and how really they should either mind their own business, or if you're going to solve something, go about doing it the proper way. You can't just barge in like a cowboy with your phone, or you're going to get your ass handed to you, which is literally what happens, or get it eaten sometimes in this case.